everybody. Thank you again for tuning into my channel, Mindful. This journey where we're just healing and making sure that we are inspiring so many people along the way. So we have a very special guest. She's like my sister. We've been knowing each other since 2013, 14?
14.
It was like 13 though. Going into first 14.
Yeah, 13 going to 14.
Yeah, so 2013 when we officially met each other. And she has been such a great person in my life. Like, I love her so much. And, so today we're going to talk about just motherhood, what it takes to be a single mother, raising 3 beautiful children that she has, just pretty much raising children itself. So, Kenisha, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, so my name is Kenisha Strickland. I am a newlywed.
Yes, the wedding was amazing, guys.
Yes. I have 3 kids, 12, 3, and 1, all boys. And it's just hard itself just having 3 boys. And I'm a teacher. My husband is a teacher and a basketball coach. And yes, that's a little bit about me.
All right, so we want to kind of really dig deep into being a mother, as well as being a young mother, raising a child, trying to find that piece of balance, knowing that you don't have that father figure for the child in their life. So can you just tell us how it was getting pregnant and how you have to feel with being by yourself, being the father was not there for you?
Yeah. So my oldest, that's 12. I had him when I was 20. I was in my 2nd year of college. I was in college out of town. So yeah, I had him. It didn't work out with the father, so I was by myself. I didn't have any family members because most of my family are in the military, so they wasn't in town with me. So I had to pretty much rely on my friends because I had really good friends that would help me if I was going to class. They'll probably watch him for a few hours, or if I had to go to work, they would watch him for a little bit. So yeah, it was really difficult, and you have to do everything by yourself. You don't have any help. You don't get any sleep. Sleep is just pretty much over with at that time.
Right, I can imagine.
Yeah, and then just trying to do the milestones, potty training, getting them to get off the bottle and off pacifiers. It's just really difficult. So.
Okay. For me, I don't have any kids. I will eventually love to have children, but right now I don't want any. My mother, she's like, I'm getting old now. I'm about to be 58, 60 years old real soon. I just killed 59, but I went to 58 to 60. But she's like, okay, I want some grandchildren. And so I do want to give that to her, but I know as far as like where I'm at in my life, I'm not really ready mentally for that, because I know it's so challenging. Because like you all know, I grew up single mom, but I also had my dad there, but it was mainly my mom who raised me. So I knew it was just really hard for her to see me grow up knowing that I needed that extra figure in my life, because she literally did everything. And there were a lot of things that she also did that I did not see. And so that's one thing that I know that, like, even like the children, as far as myself, we kind of take that for granted. Because we see our mom like every day, but we don't see the behind the scenes work that she actually does for us. Now the sacrifices that they do, it's just unbelievable. And that conditional love that you guys have for your children is absolutely amazing.
I'm grateful now that I have an amazing husband who's very hands-on with all 3 of these boys.
What was the most challenging part? Were there any challenges for you, or were there any challenges like with your kids that you have now, missing that father figure in their life?
The most challenging thing I would say would be, it's like tippy-tail with financial, and also with just the mental state, because you have to deal with postpartum. And like I said, I was in college, so I didn't have a job. At least I had a job, but not like I was working at Payless. I wasn't making any money enough to take care, pay rent and take care of this child. So yeah, financially, my mom would help. His dad would help every now and again, but it wasn't just like that hands-on 24/7 help that people need to have kids.
So I see that you did mention postpartum. Like, tell us a little about that. I don't know too much. because I haven't necessarily dealt with it, and I don't really know people who actually dealt with it and expressed it to myself. So tell us a little bit about that. What is that all about?
Well, I didn't have an extreme case of postpartum. I think I had like a little small bit, but it's like you would just break out crying out of nowhere. I can be watching TV and I would just start crying for no reason.
Wow.
Or I would just lay in my bed at night and just cry and just think about different things and just cry. A lot of things make me sad, but it's like you try to hold those things in and don't express. I don't think I ever told anybody that I dealt with postpartum.
Because I never knew that you really did.
I never really told anybody. And I think I kind of went through a little with Asher, too. So it's not just, being a single mom with dealing with postpartum. Like, anybody can deal with postpartum. So I did have it with Asher. And with Asher, I could just be laying there and just cry. I think that was like the only thing that I did was just crying out of nowhere for no reason, or laying in the bed crying sad, not wanting to do anything, or then you have to deal with your body getting back. Cause like I feel like I'm getting fat. To the next person, I probably don't think I'm as big as I am.
Right.
But you have people, if you're not happy with their body, so that's another thing.
So what does it like feel like internally, like on your mental, like the postpartum depression? What does it feel like? Like when you have those spurts where you just break down in tears or cry?
It's stressful. It makes my head hurt all the time. And you just feel like you just need relief. And you don't want to do anything. You don't want to go anywhere. Because you remember at one point, I was always ignoring all y'all phone calls.
You do that now. Kenisha, don't text us. You do that now. Like, seriously. You ignore our phone calls. Listen, this is the woman right here. I would text her. I don't hear from her maybe like 3 days later. Like, she is so bad at texting. So bad at it.
Yes, I be tired. I deal with kids all day long. I have second graders and fourth graders at work. Then come home and I have 3 different ages, and I just be tired. So I be trying. When I get some sleep, I be like, okay, yes, now I have time for my friends today. Mario stay home with the kids, and then that's when I call y'all like, what are you doing? Let's go out to eat or something. Yeah.
Okay, and so with that too, you did mention about the body. How long did it take you after you had probably each of your child or all of your children to feel like you felt like more of yourself or more like Kenisha?
With my first child, it didn't take that long because I was so young, so I think my body like went right back. I wasn't down or anything. I was getting up, going to sit at my grandma's house for a little bit, and when my mom would come in town and visit, like I was up, like, hey, so what we're gonna do today? Because I'm ready. I haven't seen y'all right. But with Asher, my second child, my body took a long time. I think it was like 6 months later, because I was trying to go like to workout classes, and I was like, oh no, this not gonna work. Working and gotta climb up the stairs all the time, I'd be out of breath. So it took a minute with Asher because I was older. I was 31 when I had Asher. So I'm older now. My body is older now. So it did take a little longer. But you just have to be patient. You can't overwork yourself. My third child had Ace, and I was up trying to clean up, do laundry, and family was over here like, no, you can't do this. Sit down. I was sweeping, mopping, washing dishes.
Moving. Like you feel like you had the energy back.
Yes, but I really didn't, because when I would sit down, I would be in pain, agony pain. So you have to be patient and just give your body time.
Okay. So did any of this affect your mental state, just being a mom without having a father figure? Or were you just like that strong woman by seeing your mom and your grandmother?
I think I was always trying to be strong. I would just wait till nighttime and I was in bed by myself. And then when the morning time hit, I was like, hey, put my shoes on, let's go. Hit the floor running like nothing had even happened at nighttime.
That's one thing that I do want more parents or just more moms like kind of come together and really support each other, and like, hey, I have your hand. If you need me, just call me, because you are not alone. I know how it is just raising children itself. Like, I really want people, as far as like our age group, just pretty much come together. I know you all kind of do it by yourself sometimes because you do have some assistance. Well, it's your husband now. So grateful for him, but I would like for other parents, other moms, or the single moms, just to come together, just really support each other And if they need assistance, just give me a call.
Yeah.
I think that would be really beneficial for a lot of parents out here.
Well, there are more resources out there now. Back when I had Kaden, we didn't have all those resources. There's a lot of mom groups on Facebook, pregnancy groups. Then you have all the pregnancy apps that can track your pregnancies, tell you what you should be eating, what you should not be eating, how the baby is growing. And we didn't have all those things at first. You have a lot of lactation classes for breastfeeding moms. They have breastfeeding groups. I know my best friend, she was in a breastfeeding group when she had her last kid.
Okay. Well, I obviously don't know nothing about this. So I guess there are a lot of resources out there that I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
As you can see, the setting is a little different from what we had earlier. Yes, So we have another 3 special guests today. These are Kenisha's beautiful children. Kenisha, you want to introduce your kids?
Yes. So this is the one that made me a mom. This is Kaden.
What's that?
The big brother. Oh, that's so sweet. Give him a kiss.
Give him a kiss.
Okay, he don't want to kiss Asher.
Okay, that's fine, Asher.
Asher, how old are you?
3. And my birthday is January 29th.
Yeah, good
Yes,
job.
your birthday's
So
coming up really
up.
soon.
Yeah, what are you doing for your birthday?
I'm gonna be eating cake and cupcakes, and then we'll eat them all. I'm gonna be blowing my candles and eating my cupcakes and cake and when I'm done with them, I'm gonna play toys.
Right, you're gonna do a lot for your
wait.
birthday. Oh my goodness.
And this is Ace. Say hey.
Let's sit down this way.
Ace.
Hey.
Say hey.
You just gonna look at me? Okay.
Well, Ace has just turned 1. So yeah, these are my 3 kids.
Okay, so now that we have our kids with us, I wanted to talk to the kids too because I know that it can affect them as well. So, Kaden, how was it like growing up and you're seeing your mom now have 2 little, now you have 2 little brothers. How was it for you?
First, they not brothers, or?
Yes. So, how was it for you when you did not have any siblings to now having siblings? Are you happy? Are you mad? Like, how do you feel?
I was happy.
You was happy when you first found out Mama was pregnant and having a little boy. You
want the boy?
You want the girl? I know we was all wanting this girl. Oh my goodness! Like, I'm gonna tell y'all something. So we already know Kenisha has 2 boys, which was Asher and Kaden, but we have been waiting for years, and she had 2 on this girl. But unfortunately, we did not get a girl, but we did get a beautiful baby boy, which is Ace right here. So, do you enjoy being a big brother? Do you enjoy being a big brother? What's the best part about being a brother?
Telling them stuff they're not supposed to be doing.
Well, this one might tell. He may be like, my brother telling me something I need to be doing. I'm gonna tell my mommy on you. Well, he just listens to you. He don't listen? Is it frustrating you when they don't listen? What is something else you love about being a big brother?
I think that's it.
You think that's it? Okay.
Do you treat Asher different from Ace? Why?
Why?
Because Ace is better than Asher.
That can't be better. They're both your brothers.
You said bigger or better?
Better.
Better? They're both the same. You have to treat them equally. They're both the same. Even though Ace is smaller, of course.
Asher, do you like being a big brother? Why not?
Because Kaden always telling me because I'm being bad.
You're being a big brother to Ace.
You're Kaden's little brother, but you want to be the big brother? Yeah.
So it looks like we had a little bit of intermission to kind of keep you guys entertained. So I wanted to talk back with Kenisha with a couple of things as far as like sacrifices and tips and advice to help new parents or just even single moms out here. So Kenisha, what were like some of the most or the sacrifice that you had to face by being a single parent.
Well, I had to sacrifice a lot of my adulthood. No more just getting up, going to parties, or going over your friend's house, hanging at your friend's house. Because now I have to think about this child who I have.
Right.
Am I going somewhere where my child can come? If so, it's a lot. You have to pack them up, make sure you have everything. And I sacrificed my education as well because I didn't graduate with my bachelor's until like 2016. I should have graduated like 2011, maybe. Yeah, I think I should have graduated 2011. So that's a long little time in between.
A big gap.
Yes, and it was really hard because I know a lot of times I'd be so sad watching everybody else graduate. I'm like, man, I started school with these people, and I'm still in school. Because it was hard having to come. I originally went to school in Pine Bluff, so I had to come back to Memphis, start school again. Then it was just hard trying to do work and stay up on your grades. So I kind of like started falling off, and I started to think that I couldn't do it. And also, I went to U of M for like a little bit, and I forgot you went there. I had got on probation because my grades were so bad, and the lady told me that I had to sit out. And so when I sat out, I went to Concord. I graduated from Concord. I had all A's and B's. So when I went back, she was like, well, that wasn't good enough. So she was like, maybe, she's like, school is not for you. It's not for everybody. You should just try to find you a trade. And I remember I left out and I was just crying. I cried so hard. I had ran a red light and I almost got hit by a car. And I was like, I'm not gonna let this lady tell me that school is not for me. I know school is for me.
The fact that she told you that.
Right. So after that is when I started going to Lemoyne, and I made good grades every semester after that. So I was like, and then I graduated in 2016, and then I didn't just go to school and come home. Like I was actually active in the community, and I was active at Lemoyne. So I'm like, I can juggle being a mom, I can juggle working, I can juggle being involved in my school and not just going to class and coming home. Like I was doing a lot of work at school. So I'm like, that lady, who are you? You can't tell me that I can't do it because I did it. I just didn't do it on your timetable or the way you wanted me to do it.
Right.
But yes, I was so excited about it. But that was something I had to sacrifice because it was harder having a kid, and I was still by myself at that time. And then later on came along, my mom came back into town, and she was able to help me with Kaden. But also, I'm bringing Kaden up to the school a lot.
I remember.
Because a lot of my friends, they watched Kaden grow up from kindergarten to like they see him now. And I was like, who was that with that big boy?
Who is this guy? Who is this big man?
Yes, Kaden was going to classes with me. Kaden was going to classes with my friends. Kaden was going inside the cafeteria, eating the cafeteria. Like everybody knew that.
Kaden in the cafeteria table that's eating. Like, what you want, Kay? He is still here at this school too.
I had to call, and then I leave my child with one person. He ended up with another person.
Somebody else.
He saw somebody he knew. Like, okay, where's my child? So, but I'm glad he got to experience that because he kind of remembers going to school with me, and he loved it. He was like, I want to go to college like you. So that kind of helped me out. Yeah, but it was hard. Like I had to get it by any means necessary. So that means your child had to come to school with you and sit in classes with you. And
while I was in school with you too, I did see a lot of parents just bringing their kids to school in those class segments. I'm like, wow, like they may not have the resource. I mean, have somebody to watch their child. So the best thing for them to do with their child right now, so for their education, is to bring their child in that setting. So it was really, when I first saw it, it was sad for me. But I'm like, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta keep going. You gotta still be a mom. You gotta still be a student to better yourself as well as your child. So I'm like, more power to you. If you gotta bring your child, bring your child.
Yep.
Especially like your child, like you said, Kaden was like, hey, I kind of want to go to school now. I want to be in that setting. So, okay, it's inspiring for the child to see that.
Yep. But you got to have a balance as well because, like, I'm all for these moms out here that, you know, it's just mom life. But I just feel like it just can't be all mom life all the time. Like, sometimes you have to take time for yourself, do self-care. So I had to balance because I wanted to hang with my friends sometimes. Hey, I can't, nothing to be ashamed about. Everybody wants to hang out sometimes. I want to go to parties. I couldn't go to all the parties. I couldn't go to all the things that you guys did in the dorm because I, of course, couldn't stay in the dorm with a kid. But it was sometimes I was like, okay, I have a babysitter. I'm finna come hang out. Mm-hmm. But you also lose friends, too, because I had friends that didn't want to invite me to everything. So I was like, well, you had a child, so I didn't think you wanted to come, or I didn't think that I should invite you because you have a child.
Right, you just gotta ask.
Right, you never know what I'm gonna say. You don't know what I have going on. He could be, with a family member. You don't know, so don't just not invite me. But I can say I think I did lose a few friends when I had Kaden because they felt like I just couldn't. I guess they felt like I was a party pooper or something because I had a kid, so I couldn't hang out.
You had an excuse.
Yeah, and I don't want to indulge in adult type things because I still have to go home and take care of this child when I get there. So.
So did you ever feel like, I know you was like, mom, you still have to take care of yourself, you still have to enjoy yourself. Did you feel like you ever lost yourself as far as being like a mom when you were so focused on just raising your kids? You were trying to find that balance?
I don't think I did per se, but I have seen people do. I have friends that I feel like, they wasn't able to keep up this same rhythm that they had before they had kids. But I don't think so because I still try to make time. Like if Kaden was at school and I didn't have to go to work, I didn't have to go to school. Okay, I'm gonna go get my nails done, go get my hair done, or go out to eat. I would just have to just stick everything in between his school hours, and so I was still able to live that life. When he went to school from 7 to 4:30, and then pick him up, and then I back to mom life. So I think I did a really good job at balancing the two.
Okay, what would be the best advice, the best tip to give someone that is becoming a mom and having to do it all by herself?
The number one thing is just be patient with the child because it's really, really hard. Sleep when the baby sleep because when you sleep deprived, ain't no telling what you're gonna do. And just make sure you take time for yourself. And if there's anybody that you can reach out to get some type of help, some type of assistance, I don't care if it's just like for an hour a day. Try to get help. Try to reach out because it's nothing wrong with asking for help. You don't have to do it all by yourself. And so it can be a family member, a friend, or try to find some type of group to be involved in so they can support you and help you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kenisha. I really appreciate you. She is absolutely a great mother. I'm just so happy that I got to know her from 2013 until now, seeing her raise 3 amazing, beautiful little boys growing into men. As you saw the oldest. He looks like a grown man right now. But I just want to say thank you. We are here just to inspire other people who are just feeling like they're alone, because in this space it's really comforting. Whatever you're going through, you can always find that resource that you need to. Just reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, reach out to somebody that can help you. Because like she said, just ask. If you need something, just ask for it. Because if you don't ask, you're going to still be in that predicament or still be in that situation and have a hard time when you don't even have to have a hard time. So I just want to thank you for tuning in to the channel again today. Thank you, Kenisha, for coming. I appreciate you so much. Hope this video inspires so many parents out there and so many new parents, as well as parents who just feel like they're just boxed in a shell and just needing some help. So thank you, everybody. See you later. Okay, count down to 3.
All right, Canisia, sounds good.
3, 2, 1.
Action. Say action.
Action.